Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays The Binding of Isaac. Let us go. You know what? Give me a Laz run. How many memes can we pack into the start of this video? I'm a fire in my laser. NK99. That's him right there. Wayne Gretzky. Nane Kretzky. The great one. Number 99. B1AH. With a little, well, obviously a little bit of Monica in my life. A little bit of Sandra by my side. I'm sorry, Tyrone. I don't play your game, okay? You might also be asking the question, why in the world does Gamma go from 120 to 150 instead of a reasonable, like, 0 to 100? I can only assume that because the game is made by people in America, they assume they have to create a system even more ridiculously arbitrary than Fahrenheit in order to represent it. Of course Gamma goes to 120 to 150. It's just logical. How else would you know? Obviously 120 Gamma is too low and 149 is getting hot, hot, hot. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm not going to rehash the Celsius versus Fahrenheit versus Kelvin argument. Because there is... I mean, Celsius is also arbitrary. It's just less arbitrary. And more logically arbitrary, if that makes sense. I appreciate... Well, I guess I am going to rehash this argument. Austin actually makes a good point sometimes we argue about this. Which is that in Celsius, the difference between a whole number to another whole number is greater. Whereas in Fahrenheit, there's almost like a built-in decimal point, as ridiculous as that might sound. You know what I mean? Like in Fahrenheit, it can be 101 degrees to 105 degrees. You know, in Celsius, that would all be contained within like 27 or something like that. So it does have a little bit more delineation. But then I start to, you know, be angry at society more because I really think temperatures, first off, probably a couple of degrees difference doesn't matter that much on the Fahrenheit scale. And secondly, you can always just use a Celsius decimal point, but decimal points are... I think we're getting better, but to some extent, decimal points are, you know, scary to the general audiences out there. Instead of using decimal points, we could just write it in scientific notation. You know, it's 2.7 times 10 to the 1 degrees outside today. Not a good idea. Don't do that. Yo, can you just... Oh. I don't know if there's any... Oh, no, there is a means with which to end our own lives here. So I'm going to do it because I'm silly like that, but also I think it's the right idea. Even if we can't get the book... Rest assured I would like to get the book, but even if we can't get the book, in the library, that is, we'll just tackle it like this, and I feel relatively like we're doing the right thing. I'm not a big fan of Book of Shadows necessarily, but at the time that it showed up, we didn't have any rerolls that we could draw from, so it is what it is, basically. This floor is all about picking up some keys. We have 4.20 damage. No jokes, please. That's the devil's number. And we're desperately searching, well, for a lot of things. Basically for every stat. That's not to suggest that we're in a bad spot right now. Just a spot that could certainly be better. We've got decent stats in everything except for our HP, which is admittedly kind of bad, but also self-inflicted in its badness. That was a bit of a whiff there. I placed a bomb. I hit left control with my pinky finger by accident. I have no control over that finger. That finger just does whatever it wants to do. That was risky. Might want to slow your roll a little bit on the orbital damage here. He says while doing exclusively orbital damage. The orbitals have screwed me lately. Or the orbitals have provided a means with which I can screw myself, which is almost worse because it's self-inflicted, but we've been taking so much damage from predominantly using our orbitals to attack enemies. We gotta smarten up. Mind you, it worked out really well right there. And we're just gonna be, cautious is not the right word, but we're gonna be not that aggressive about our orbital use here, and it worked out fairly nicely, actually, with a good damage booster coming after it, and then a Krampus fight. Say what you will. We've drawn some short straws at the start of this run. Now we've got Angel Room Precedent, which could be good, but we're low on HP, of my own creation, admittedly. because of the Lazarus respawn, which was, in hindsight, a little dicey, but I like getting those stat bonuses. It's like being Eve and not getting Whore of Babylon. You know you can get Whore of Babylon. It's sitting right there, behind the glass of your memory museum. Now, we gotta be careful here, because any of these champions will kill us in one hit, and any enemy that explodes into a bomb is, they have the potential to kill us in one hit as well. Bombs would be really nice. Instead, we get Spoonbender, which is also quite good. I think we gotta at least try here. We've been very light on consumables, unfortunately. The last play... By the way, losing that bomb was huge. Like, accidentally pressing that left control key, which nobody even remembers, is actually an alternate bomb placement key, has screwed us out of getting tinted rocks that would make our life much more acceptable right now, much more survivable. But it is what it is. We'll head down to the next floor, largely feeling like we've gotten a pretty good draw in terms of items that improve ourselves offensively, but defensively is a different story altogether. But I have faith. Couple of HP upgrades and we're, you know, in the money. Come on, my honey. What's your favorite song from the 1910s? That one's up there. There's also a Yankee Doodle came to town, doo-da, doo-da. Or wait, that's a different song. That's, Yankee Doodle came to town and riding on a donkey. Stuck a feather in his hat and called it macaronky. I got a word mixed up somewhere. That was honestly DAE, born in the wrong generation. Oh, extra bombs. You never see that on... Well, I shouldn't say that because I've never looked it up. But I wonder if you ever see that. Like if you Google... Or if you YouTube any piece of music from like the last 50 years, inevitably there's people in the comments that go, oh, I wish they made music like this, but now my friends these days are just listening to Justin Bieber. I'm so much more enlightened than them. Does that exist for Camptown Races? Like if you YouTube Camptown Races, sing that song, doo-da, doo-da. Camptown Races, 5 miles long, all the live long day. People like, I wish I was born in that era. Music has never been the same since. Now it's all about high-definition recordings. Back then, it was just about the joy of going to the Camptown Races. It honestly brings a tear to my eye every time I hear Camptown Races. Dude, this is big. Bloodbag and Goathead in quick succession here. It's a forgotten era, dude. To some extent. Like, you know, I guarantee you can go back and, you know, if you watch classical music on YouTube or, you know, listen to classical music on YouTube, read the comments, there's gonna be people who are like, I wish classical music is still popular. I understand that, you know? Classical music is very much, it's lost a lot of its popularity since, you know, the 14th century. At least that's my perspective on it, at least. It's not really my bag. Kate loves it, though. But I guarantee there's people in those comments that are like, I wish I was an aristocrat in Bavaria in the 19th century. I could have been Haydn's patron. Actually, Haydn spent most of his working life in Ireland, weirdly enough, working on the Messiah chorus. Anyway. Hey. HP via Magic Mush and a contract from below? We're in a great spot now. But if you go back to, you know, do your ears hang low? Do they wobble to and fro? Can you time in and out? Yeah, I can't hit that note. Jeez, this is Mariah Carey. Can you throw them over your shoulder like a cotton in a soldier? I don't know why I found that so enjoyable. I wonder where that stops. I wonder what era you can go back to when they no longer have comments saying I was born in the wrong generation. I know one thing for certain, and that's that it's not going to stop anytime soon. Because again, you got people posting comments on Simple Plan music videos going, I wish I was born in the year 1989 so I could have experienced this. Dude, Simple Plan, really? I mean, I'm not trying to insult Simple Plan. I never used Simple Plan as a punching bag until I saw that comment, and I went to myself, Simple Plan, really? There's a band that inspires this much passion in this young individual? Dude, we are stacked. Otherwise, you're entitled to like what you like. Where it steps into, you know, really territory is when you go, I wish I was born in a different area. Wait, no, I had it right the first time. I wish I was born in a different era so I could have experienced Simple Plan live when they were famous. Look, that's too far. There's like 8 bands, like, in human history, or artists that I'll give you that for. You know, the Beatles, Beethoven, Sharon, Lois, and Bram, Raffi. You know, we're lucky to live in the same era as many of them. Oh, I wish I could give up my smartphone to see Simple Plan sing I'm Just a Kid and Life is a Nightmare live. To see Hoobastank perform The Reason at Edgefest 04. You know what you'd be singing after you actually got back in time to see that? I made my mistakes, the night goes on as I'm fading. Okay, you get the idea. Yeah, you know what? We haven't had Dr. Fetus yet. Why not? Oh, our shot speed is too high. That's why not. We do have homing bombs as well because of the synergistic effects here. So the homing bombs will slightly make up for the fact that we're shooting too darn fast right now. And our shots are going to be tough to hit enemies with. Sometimes. Sometimes they seem to be working out okay. This guy's creating too many flies. Oh, you wouldn't. They already did. Sweet. We still can't blow up angel statues, huh? What's up with that? Oh, what's up with that? All right. We should have an easy win right now. Good damage. Our bombs are too fast, but at least they also home, which mitigates the fact that otherwise they're not gonna, like, ever hit if we had to fire them naturally. Polydactyly basically does not matter. So we should, on this run, it's probably a better than average Lazarus run. So we should probably try to, like, absolutely maximize everything that we can do on this run. If we could do boss rush, hush. Could we just call it boss hush rush? You know, combine them into one. If we can do hush rush on this run, dude, that's never gonna catch on. Stop trying to make hush rush happen. It's never gonna happen. I wish I was born in 1991 so I could have experienced Mean Girls at the time of it. I mean, it was, I'll be honest with you, as someone who was 16 when Mean Girls came out and was a snob, we have goat heads, so, like, who cares here? I expected Mean Girls to be really bad. And when it came out and it was surprisingly clever and acerbic and, you know, relatable, I was pleasantly surprised. We actually watched Mean Girls in my psychology class. And it wasn't, like, that much of a... We're gonna go back for it, but I should have not walked out. It was not a stretch. Like, in 9th grade geography, we watched Dumb and Dumber. Volcano... No, wait. We watched Dumb and Dumber, Dante's Peak, and Pearl Harbor. That was a stretch. To watch Mean Girls in psychology class was just, you know, sort of fun. We also watched The Matrix in philosophy class. Along with I Heart Huckabees. And I gotta say, I actually like I Heart Huckabees as a movie. Again, I was a snob when I was 16. And I think I love Jason Schwartzman. He seems like such an affable young fellow. If I ever saw a video of Jason Schwartzman being a jerk, I don't know if I could handle it. It would shatter my worldview of him being, like, the most congenial, you know, actor in Hollywood. Anyway, the point is, if you ever want to experience hell, watch I Heart Huckabees with a class full of 15-year-olds. Alright, Pentagram. It's good stuff. Bront. They're good dogs, Bront. Grab a little Brimstone and Pentagram. We're loving life. We got a lust for life. Like Iggy Pop and or the band Jet, who ripped off Iggy Pop's Lust for Life for their song, Are You Gonna Be My Girl? How long am I gonna hold a grudge for? I don't know, you know. Again, the whole snobby thing. Okay, well, we'll take Book of Sin. I think it's a better item to begin with. And then we'll throw in some rerolls here, which we definitely do not have to use our bombs for, but did nonetheless. We're way ahead of schedule. I was actually so far ahead of schedule, I tricked myself into thinking I was behind schedule. How does that work out for you? Did we come down here with 5 cents? I don't believe so. An arcade would be nice. I would throw Spirit Hearts at an arcade to get more money to donate more, because we're in a good enough position right now that would be completely fine. I shouldn't have taken Little Brimstone. I'm a sucker for any media property that has little in its name. I'm trying to think of any example literally to fill my point right now. What I was gonna do is say, at the end of it, the way I was gonna tie it together is suggest, like, first I'd suggest a movie called, like, you know, Little Something. And then I'd be like, yeah, Little Big Planet. Oh, big fan, you know? Little People, Big World. Best TV show ever made. Boss Baby. No! Boss Baby is different. Baby does not always mean little. Have you not seen Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? There's big babies in that movie, alright? Pull your head out of your Rick Moranis before you step to me with a comment like that. Boss Baby. Yeah, okay. It's Spaceballs too. May the Schwartz be with you. Let's go. I don't know, that was a creepy laugh. Oh, we already found our second secret room, you silly. We might actually have been better off going to our shop on this floor, but I don't know. We'll save our chance up to possibly get an arcade in the future here. Yeah, problem solved. I'm gonna give up a few Spirit Hearts here. I think we're fine. We got Gimpy. You know, Gimpy could give us hearts now, or give us hearts later. We got Blood Bag out of it, which I think is worth it. We don't need the speed, but, you know, there's a little extra speed to go along with it. And we don't have our Polaroid yet, so it really does not matter if we don't have permanent Polaroid invincibility conditions met. We've had to unlearn a little bit of our previous Isaac acumen. Is there, this is an honest question. Oh, I have toilet paper, right, so the orbital does not orbit, which is actually okay. Basically means we have a really small Guardian Spear, which I think is an interesting mechanic, if not necessarily good. Is there, well, I know there will be, for most people. Is there an actor or actress in Hollywood for whom, as soon as you see that they're involved with the production, you just will not go see it? Or you would have to, like, move heaven and earth to get you to see it? I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna start by villainizing my own family. My dad has this for Meryl Streep. Not for political reasons, you know, this is well before the modern political climate, but he, for whatever reason, I don't think he hates Meryl Streep as a person. I think he just hates the roles that she chooses. And she's been in such amazing movies that he's really depriving himself. That's being like, you know, I'm not gonna watch any movie that Tilda Swinton's in. Or actually, you know, it's a much better example is Cate Blanchett, because she also has roles in movies that are not necessarily, you know, the kinds of things that a dad is gonna want to go see in every situation. But, you know, like Blue Jasmine, for example. But, you know, also roles in a lot of, I'm not saying those movies are bad, just a different sort of value proposition. Also, lots of really accessible movies like, you know, the Lord of the Rings series, for example, if you've heard of it. It's a pretty big one. Jack Peterson wrote it, directed it. J.R.R. Tolkien was the lead Hobbit. It's a great movie. I wish they made more. 250? No, we're gonna get 249. Just kidding. We're gonna hurt ourselves once for no reason and then get to 250. Come on, you gotta give me something there. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. Okay. We still gotta, no, we've already been to our item room. That's right, we got Lucky Foot, which is great with Gimpy, actually, so I'm not sweating it. I'm trying to think of who it is for me. I've got one that I think is obvious if you've watched a lot of my content. Johnny Depp. And I grew up in an era where for a movie to have Johnny Depp in it was actually, like, amazing. And this era only ended recently, but, you know, What's Eating Gilbert Grape, Ed Wood, you know, examples like this were numerous back in the day. So when we saw, I'll take it. Maybe I shouldn't, but I'm gonna take it anyway. What a whiff. When I saw Pirates of the Caribbean, I was like, Johnny Depp is crushing it in this movie. I mean, what do you? They're all pretty bad here, but we gotta try. And then he just kept making more Pirates of the Caribbean movies, and then he was like, you know, he became like too precious, you know? Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory, beloved original, Johnny Depp's portrayal of Willy Wonka. Everyone goes, well, it's closer to the books. Sure, but it's just strange, and that's fine. You got like too weird for weird. You got mainstream weird. What's the, oh, dude, Alice in Wonderland. When Johnny Depp became like, I'll be the strange guy in all of your movies, you're like, no. Benicio del Toro plays the strange guy in all the movies. You're just like a weird uncle now. I'm not trying to insult him necessarily. I know he's been going through a rough time, although doesn't necessarily have the best reputation as well. I've never met him, and I'm not going to judge him on a personal level without having met him for what are slights that I perceive as minor towards myself at the very least. Like, I'm just protecting my own butt, because yeah, apparently, you know, he's sort of a jerk, but, you know, oh, so you can't judge a war criminal unless you've met them? I'm just saying they're on different magnitudes, okay? If I met him personally, I would give him a chance of redemption to rebuke the allegations against him, I suppose. I need more spirit hearts here. I'm getting a little spooked. But you, I don't think, could pay me to go see a Johnny Depp movie now. It would have to. I would have to hear that it's one of the best movies ever made, probably, to be excited to go see it. I'm trying to think if there's other examples. People always they go with like Tom Cruise. I'm like the opposite. I would see a bad Tom Cruise movie, and still I haven't seen The Mummy, but even though it got like a 7% on Rotten Tomatoes, I think I would go see The Mummy and be like, you know, it's okay. Like, I don't expect it to be a masterwork, I guess, and I respect that it's bad, but I find Tom Cruise a very likable actor. Have you seen? I wish they'd stop changing the title. Have you seen Edge of Tomorrow? It's fantastic. He's great in it. He's actually not very likable in that movie. Yeah, that's the point of the start of it, at least. That's a great film. I even like Vanilla Sky, largely as a result of Tom Cruise just coming unhinged, despite the fact that that movie is extremely pretentious. You should watch the Spanish original. I have seen the Spanish original, Abra los Ojos. Remember, I was a snob, okay? Of course I've seen the Spanish original. I'm trying to think of who else. There are definitely actors for whom I'm like much more likely to enjoy a movie. Peter Stormare, Benicio del Toro, as mentioned, Steve Buscemi, of course, William H. Macy. Oh, dude. I'll see anything that William H. Macy's in, except Shameless, because Shameless is too long. I don't have that kind of time. I hear the show's amazing. I just, you know, I got Game of Thrones, and I got Game of Thrones and trying to memorize all the algorithms in the C++11 STL and what kind of iterator arguments they take. That's my life outside of the whole Twitch and YouTube sphere right now, okay? I don't have room for Shameless until they get dragons. Then I'll consider it. I think it's off air, or, you know, it's finished its theatrical run. You know what I mean. Oh, dude, let me out of here. Thanks for the spirit heart. I knew you were going to pay out there eventually. I'm trying to think on the actress side. I was going to say Cameron Diaz, but she does have the mask, and she does have There's Something About Mary. But to see a Cameron Diaz movie in 2016, I'd have to think about that long and hard, I think. Oh, don't be gross. I think a common answer is going to be like Will Ferrell, Ben Stiller. Dan Giesling hates Ben Stiller. I have no idea what Ben Stiller has done to deserve that level of hate. He said this on camera. I'm not blowing up his spot or anything. He said, what does he say about Ben Stiller? He's like, it's what we referred to in the business as like a POS or something like that. Piece of, you know, woo. Wait, I got the soundboard. You know, a piece of. He's done it. I forget, an SOB. It's one of the two. I can't recall. Pretty much means the same thing, right? Like, oh, dude, Tyler Perry. Yeah. Well, like, if Tyler Perry writes and directs a movie, let's be honest, it's not meant for me. I see the virus in there now. This is a really solid run, because the homing tiers are, well, I mean, first off, the homing tiers are great with Tech X, but then they're also, like, the bomb targets something, and then if the homing tiers on the laser kill it, the bomb can reposition itself to hit another target, which is awesome. Anyway, Tyler Perry, I'll admit, was awesome in Gone Girl. He played a great role in Gone Girl. Another great movie. Yeah, dude, hook me up. We're so stacked on this run. This is like an actual 10 out of 10 run, especially getting Tech X out of our boss rush. Things did look scary for a little bit there in the middle. I think that's it for me. I don't hold grudge. It's not like I've ever met these people. It's like I was gonna say I don't hold grudges against them. Adam Sandler is another one, and I gotta say, I'm not trying to stir the pot, and I don't think this is even particularly controversial. I've seen Ted twice. I haven't seen Ted 2. I watched Ted on an airplane, and I was like, I don't like this at all. And then the other day, it was probably like 3 months ago, it was on TV when I was working in the background, and I kind of caught little bits and pieces of it, and I was like, I still don't like this. Old me was right. And then I saw, like, the opening 40 minutes of 6 Million Ways to Die in the West. Charlize Theron, what are you doing in that movie? You have an Oscar. And not even, like, a Halle Berry Oscar, where you just kind of, like, disappeared after that. You did Catwoman, you know, etc., etc. You've been in, like, great works recently. Young adults. I mean, say what you will about it, but Prometheus is a high prestige film, at least at the time of its release. That Fast and the Furious movie. I mean, I get it. That's money. Why the heck are you in, of all things, Seth MacFarlane's 6 Million Ways to Die in the West? Like, that's... He must be a nice guy, or like a good dude, because he got a lot of people to be in that movie that have no business being in that movie. Liam Neeson is in that movie. I understand Liam Neeson doesn't have the best track record with films recently. And you're going to say, like, yeah, since Taken. And I'm like, nah, including Taken. But still, he's a cultural icon. And to have Liam Neeson just be, like, playing a role in that movie makes no sense to me. Either way. So I think, yeah, like, Seth MacFarlane, if I'm ever going to go see another Seth MacFarlane movie, he's got to have, like, his Punch Drunk Love moment. And then sustain it on, like, some people. Like the, you know, lead actor in Punch Drunk Love. I don't blame Adam Sandler, though. You know, I think it's... As a consumer, I like to consume media that makes me feel good. And Adam Sandler's movies mostly just make me roll my eyes, but he's got a lot of fans that are really into him. And it's been made like, oh, we don't quite have the Guppy Dream, do we? I think we should just go. You know what? We should actually kill Void on this one because we can. A lot of scuttlebutt has been made that, like, you know, oh, his movies always turn a profit, so he just goes and, you know, F's off to Hawaii for a month and then makes a movie with, like, someone that's way out of his league, at least in conceptually. And then, you know, they come back and he pays his friends far too much and the movie makes money and everybody's happy. You know? Except for the reviewers who are, you know, they just go, oh, this movie's not made for you. But as much as that seems like he's given up on his art, dude, that's like an absolute actual dream job. If I was an actor or a filmmaker on that level, I don't know if I would do anything different. He's like, you know, you're telling me I can get paid like $20 million to make... It's like YouTube, you know? I can get paid $20 million and pay my friends like, you know, $750,000 each to be in the movie that we ourselves wrote, and then you're gonna keep giving me money because people like to watch it? That's like a dream come true. I have no... I think his position as kind of like a critical punching bag is very well deserved. However, you can't deny that it seems like he's got his head screwed on straight from like a, you know, getting the job done standpoint. I don't really want that. Right, also I do want that because I'm not leaving the floor. I'm not coming to bat for Adam Sandler necessarily as an artist. I'm coming to bat for Adam Sandler as someone who sort of works in the entertainment industry. He's found a niche, and he's got an audience that likes it, and he's taking people with him on the way up. If I could never see Rob Schneider or David Spade's face again, and that's pretty much the rules of which I've been living my life, I'd be happier. But I'm not going to begrudge him, you know? I'm happy that he's found something that he can pursue that works out well for him. Sort of. I mean, I'm not happy. I'm like indifferent, but I'm not against it is what I'm trying to say. You know another actor I will watch almost anything that they've ever been in, or that they are in? Willem Dafoe. 10 out of 10. I don't like the Boondock Saints very much, I'll admit. However, I do like Willem Dafoe a lot. He's especially as Norman Osborn. When Aunt May goes, Norman Osborn! Wait, she might say Harry Osborn. I can't remember. It's when Harry's being casually sexist. It's been a while since I've seen Spider-Man 1. Maybe you should redeem that and become vindicated. That's a reference to Spider-Man 2, actually, NL. Sorry, that movie really Dr. Octopus. It's not a good joke. Oh, we could have had the Guppy Dream. Is this a cat trying to get into my room? Hello, Tomo. What's the problem, buddy? Tomo? Have you come to witness my ascendance? Tomo. Alright, now we find out if this cat is here to get petted or here to sleep. He hasn't gotten in the sleeping box yet. But he hasn't meowed for pets. What are you going to do here, Tomo? What's your game plan? I'm going to put 1.5 to 1 favorite odds on petting. But I have more information than you do right now. I can also tip things in my favor. Tomo! No meows? Maybe he doesn't want the pet. He's just looking for a quiet place to sleep. Everybody who had sleep, that pays out. Congratulations. Acid Baby. Largely not very relevant right now. Yeah, I'm petting him, and he's like, just leave me alone. I want to sleep. That's no way to talk to your father. So this should be our first Delirium kill of this save file. And, I mean, it was, like, very easy. It's not done yet, so we shouldn't count our chickens. But considering the advantages that we have right now, it ended up being pretty easy. If it finishes the way it looks like it'll finish right now. Mind you, I would like to find the boss room sooner rather than later, and also we have not picked up anything useful in, like, all of these rooms. And Curse of the Unknown is the most troll of all the curses here. Because, like, it doesn't even impact me that much. It just annoys me. Curse of the Blind, Curse of the Unknown, at least, well, thank you. At least there's a chance that, and I mean, I say this as if I'm like a glutton for punishment, but at least they have an impact on the game in the sense that, like, they can make it a lot harder for you to succeed. Meaningfully harder. All Curse of the Lost does is make you walk around these rooms you've already been to before. I guess there are some ways it can hurt you, like you could end up walking on spikes or something, but, you know, we're getting in a little bit of, you know, come on territory, I think. So we gotta do the Void as every single character in the game still. It's gonna take us quite some time, but, you know, the more the merrier. Looks like we got one basically done here. While talking about Adam Sandler, my favorite discussion topic. I'm sorry, by the way, if you like Johnny Depp. I know some people, they're still Johnny Depp fans. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know. Don't let me discourage you from going to see the newest Pirates of the Caribbean film. My media religion is just watch whatever you want, and if somebody's being a snob about it, just go, hey, you're being kind of a jerk right now. Remind them that it's more important to be a conscientious human being than it is to like the right kind of media. Oh, we found a new area. However, it's not for me. It's like making another Kane and Lynch game, you know? It's like, there's an audience, maybe. What is this? Angelic Prism. Eclipsed by the moon. What? Now they're eclipsed by the moon. The light hits the gloom on the grave. Do these bombs have different effects, or they just look cool? Kissed by a bomb on the grave. Whoa. Okay, we gotta land. We gotta shoot more. Because we're getting damage out of Tech X. Oh, we actually have to... We just hold it, and then we don't... What's going on with Tech X here? You see my concerns? Why do I no longer have Tech X shots? I do, they're just not circles anymore? There is so much a bell can tell you, so much it can say. It became 4 bombs, but my damage is same, baby. Tell me you're like a post-it note accomplishment I gotta get. Won't you tell me, am I happy, baby? Please, just... Dude, Delirium, you stand no chance. Resign, and then we can go grab some lunch before round 2 starts. Sounds like I was talking about intercourse, but I was really referring to competitive chess. Happens all the time. So somehow this has ruined Tech X, but... Or it's made Tech X look ruined, even if it's not. That's fine. We're gonna get the job done here anyway. We started taking like half damage. Oh, you know what? We have the cancer trinket. That, or the cancer item. That's what's doing it. I'm begging you, finish this off. We have no chance of death. Just land some shots. We have a mild chance of death. All right. Cool. Plus, we're looking really cool. Hey, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. And of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. Let's see what we unlocked here. Oh, we should have... Obviously. We got Compound Fracture, Delirious. Still pretty good. We should have watched the ending as well. It's been like 3 months or 6 months since I've seen that. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. But for now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.